Hey, I'm Riley, and this is a Superhuman Podcast. At Superhuman, we bring you cutting edge insights from health experts and high performers to help you unlock your body's full potential, supercharge your mind, and achieve more with less effort. One fix nagging health issues, boost productivity, spark genius ideas, master stress, build better relationships, and increase your income. It all starts by optimizing your inner machinery. My guest today is Josh Carr. Josh is the CEO of Echo Water, a leading innovator in hydrogen-enriched water technology. A serial entrepreneur, Josh's personal journey with hydrogen water began when he was trying to experience relief with his arthritis symptoms after incorporating it into his routine. The transformative experience propelled him to helm Echo Water, where he has been instrumental in expanding the company's reach, including securing distribution partnership with major U.S. retailers like Walmart, and many more under his leadership. And they're really just beginning and pioneering, this thing of Echo water and hydrogen water is really changing people's life with health and performance and so much more. And can't wait to dive into it today. So Josh, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Riley.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing, water. People think step one is to always filter your water, and people have that down. They just have their Brita filter water. But then there's this new thing called hydrogen water. So it's very interesting, and I'd love to get into all of this. I guess step one to that is could you share about your personal experience getting into hydrogen water? Was it a bit of your arthritis, or was it a couple other things too?
Yeah, I mean, mainly it was driven by my arthritis because I have ankylosing spondylitis and had it for some time. You take biologics for that and other drugs. There was a point in time where I was taking like handfuls of pills to try and solve this problem. And I wasn't responding to the drugs as well as I used to. And I was having all sorts of issues. And over time, you do kind of build up a tolerance to get used to the biologic that you're on, or some people do. And so I'd switch from one to another, and just nothing was working. And I tell people there was this point in time where I hadn't gone upstairs in my house in 3 years. Just stairs were just that daunting, that painful, going up or down. Obviously, my mobility was way low. I'd spend a lot of time on crutches. And then in order to get through those huge flare-ups, then I would use a lot of steroids. So I'm on this cycle that's just really bad for me. And, steroids, I can show you pictures where my face is just so fat from the steroids, and I gained a lot of weight. And, it was just like this death spiral, really. It was horrible. And it was no way to live. And so I kind of happened upon it on accident. The original founder of Echo, Paul Baratero, he had been at it for a long time. He was one of the visionaries who saw hydrogen water before any of the studies came out, and he was making these kinds of connections. And he started networking with some of the really, really early adopters, people like Tyler LeBaron, who were doing research on it.
Oh, wow.
And then in 2008, studies started coming out validating what they had not anecdotally noticed, but had assumed from the science. But I'd sold a building to Paul a few years before, and he called me and was like, "Hey, I need some help. Can you come by?" And I've, stopped by the building. I hadn't seen him in a few years, and I had to take the elevator up one flight of stairs to go talk to him. And Paul, I was telling him about how bad my arthritis has been, and so he gave me a hydrogen water bottle, and almost out of courtesy, because I knew I'd have to see him again the next week, I was drinking from that bottle. And I'm so dialed in. It doesn't happen really this fast for most people, but I was so dialed into my pain and my health, and like any tiny difference and tiny improvement, I would notice right away. So after a week of drinking that water, I was like, this is making a big difference. This is really, there's something here. And that got better and better and better. I think maxing out at probably 3 months, but really making a big difference by 6 weeks. And I just fell in love with it. I just couldn't believe that there could be a solution that was this simple, that could, and it's not like I'm completely off all medicines. I'm still on a biologic, but I'm only taking a tiny bit of medicine now, where before I was taking a handful of pills every day. It leads to other health improvements too, because now I'm more active. I've lost weight because it's steadied out my flare-ups. I don't really get them And if I do get a flare up, it's very minor. So I haven't been using steroids. But just overall, I just keep getting these health improvements. Now it's going on 3 years that I've been using it, and I've never felt this good. You know, my body's pretty beat up, but I feel like I did when I was 25, 26.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and you don't have to be like Brian Johnson, spend what's he spend $2 million a month to try and do
Yeah.
this. I mean, this seems like a
He
better way
spends
to
all
go.
the money. And it's his experiments are interesting.
Yeah,
Figure out what's working and what's not, and he'll probably die at the same time as the rest of us.
yeah,
Um, but I do like the idea that hydrogen water can be like the foundation to your health because of what it does to your gut health and other things. It just makes everything else you're doing work better. Like I was saying, because it reduced my inflammation, I was then able to move more, and then I lost weight. Right? Hydrogen water isn't a weight loss drug, but it does help you move more. And if you're having a problem with that, then moving more, you're automatically going to lose weight. Right? Same thing with sleep. A lot of people have a lot of trouble sleeping. For me, I would wake up when it hurt. So if my painkiller wore off after 6 hours, I'd wake up. Right? And so uh, it's like getting rid of all the inflammation. My sleep is way better, right? And if your sleep's better, then your brain's better, and it just goes on and on and on. So that's why I love about it. It's a great complement to any other health routine, any other health thing you're doing.
yeah. I think it's the foundational thing that everybody should be doing, just because it's just so easy to access, and no matter what you're doing, like a lot of these busy CEOs I'll sometimes work with, they just don't have time for any health routine. But if they just swap the water they're drinking, they start to notice the differences like right away if they want peak performance or just better health. So I think that's really incredible. Hydrogen
Yeah,
water,
from a
though.
peak.
Sorry,
Let
go
me
ahead.
throw something in there real quick. From
Yeah.
a peak performance standpoint, there's some studies that show comparing hydrogen water to caffeine or in particular coffee. And I've noticed this with myself, right? Like at 2:30, you're getting a little sluggish. You still got to finish your day. People reach for an energy drink or a coffee or whatever. Well, caffeine's got an 8-hour half-life. So 8 hours later, when it's time to go to sleep or starting to get ready for sleep, half that caffeine's still in your system. So even if you do fall asleep, you're not getting great sleep. And um, if you instead reach for a hydrogen water in the afternoon, you'll get a bigger energy boost than the caffeine would anyway, and you'll sleep better at night. So it's like little changes like that that lead to big changes, right? Because better sleep is huge, and better hydration is huge. So sorry, I interrupted, but go ahead.
No, no, honestly. I mean, the financial ROI, I mean, think about how many times you would go to Starbucks to go get a coffee every afternoon when you could just have one hydrogen water bottle ready to go.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's the investment in itself.
and the calories too. I mean,
The calories
coffee's
too.
not calorie free, so
Sugar and cream. Yeah, I guess you don't add sugar and cream to your water, but
no,
so that's a plus. For people who don't know what hydrogen water is, could you go into like it's a pretty new concept for some people,
yeah,
what exactly it is and how does it differ from regular water?
yeah. And actually, I'll grab a bottle to show you. So um, this is our Echo Flask is what we just came out with. This Echo Go Plus is what we were selling last year, and most
Yeah,
people are familiar with
that's
this
one I
look.
have.
And so the Flask just launched at CES in January, and it's been a huge hit. And we can go into that if you want, but the um, the thing that we hear all the time is that isn't there already hydrogen in water? And that is true, right? And what I will say to people is if your body was functioning just like it should, you would be able to extract all the hydrogen you need just from your diet and what you drink. Fermentation in your gut, the water you take in, your body knows how to do this and it's designed to do this. Problem is that environmental toxins, antibiotics, all the stuff that we've taken in over time, it's damaging our gut health and damaging our overall health. So our body's demand for hydrogen water is greater than it's ever been, like historically and based on our age. And our body's ability to produce hydrogen water is lower than it's ever been because of that damage. And so that's where people find a benefit in supplementing. Like if you're 6 years old and you're feeling great and you have no medical problems, you're not going to feel it, right? It'll still be good for you. It's not going to cause any harm, but you're not going to feel a big benefit. But if you're getting a little older and you're noticing some aches and pains, your metabolism's slowing down, your gut health is deteriorating, whatever it is, then those are the people who notice a big benefit and right away. And then most people are kind of in between, right? And they just want to do some really good things for their body so they don't slow down as soon and maintain what they've got. And so it's really great for that because you're not going to get into that state as early. But if you're in that state, it helps you recover faster. So I'll talk really quick about how we do it.
Yeah,
So
please.
in the base of the bottle, this is actually, I'll have to hold it in front of my face so it doesn't go out of focus here. But in the base of the bottle, there's a cathode and an anode. And if you don't know what that is, just imagine two metal plates. And in between, there's a proton exchange membrane. And this is technology that was actually developed by NASA for the Apollo program. It's old tech. Um, in fact, generating hydrogen from water is really, really old tech. If you create an electrolyte with some salt or something and drop a 9-volt battery in a glass of water, you'll have hydrogen come up from the negative terminal and oxygen come up from the positive terminal. Now, it'll recombine and form some really acidic water, and it'll rust your battery in about 2 seconds. But it will have hydrogen and oxygen coming up, right? So the reason that you have to have a proton exchange membrane is so that those chemicals don't recombine. There's a lot of knockoff bottles that you see that are similar to this style
Yeah, I was going
on
to ask that.
Amazon and stuff. And there's some good bottles out there. None of them perform the rate that an Echo Flask does, but there's some decent bottles out there. But you've got to make sure you have a proton exchange membrane in your bottle. Otherwise, we actually have a cleaning bottle called the Echo Clean that doesn't have a membrane, and it allows those chemicals to recombine because it creates some chlorine and some hypochloric acid, which is really great for disinfecting counters in a natural way. Not really great for putting in your body and killing all the good bacteria
Yeah.
and all that. But most of the bottles, and I can tell by the bubbles and how it looks because I've seen so many, but most of the bottles that we see, and people even say they smell like chlorine in the reviews. I'm like, don't drink that. You're like
Yeah,
literally
that's not
drinking
good for you.
poison, but they got it because it was cheap.
Wow.
And assuming it's kind of the same, that actually freaks me out quite a bit. So if you're
Yeah.
going to go into this, you need to make sure you're getting a high quality bottle. And I get it that it's expensive, especially for a test. We do have some supplements you could try if you're worried about the price. But you have to make sure you're getting like a really good high quality bottle with a great proton exchange membrane in there, or else you're not going to get good, pure, clean hydrogen. So
Yeah, that's really important. I've seen so much of that in some of these bad ones of people having negative health issues when they start drinking. They think, well, it's just a change because I'm starting to drink hydrogen water now, but it's actually that chlorine that, it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, here are these. I mean, it's not uncommon for someone to have a cleanse when they first start drinking hydrogen water, especially if your gut health is really poor. You'll have some loose stools for a couple weeks, but then on the people who have that have struggled with that for some time generally. And then usually that's a sign that it's about to be corrected by getting the hydrogen into your system. So we hear that in like 10% of people. But when people are saying, well, I tried this other bottle and it made my aches and pains worse, or I just suddenly started having gut problems. I've never had them before. That's, you're essentially drinking disinfectant.
yeah,
You shouldn't be doing that.
that's
So
dangerous.
be
Yeah,
careful about
that's
the
crazy.
bottles you get.
Wow. I've heard more recently these capsules you can put into water to hydrogenize it. Is that a thing? And is there any benefit to that?
Yeah. So we have one in a powder form, and we did a powder because it does two things. We paired it with a prebiotic fiber. So what that does is it gives you a quick burst of hydrogen, and then as the fiber ferments in your gut, you get some longer lasting hydrogen as well. The way that the capsules work, ours is the only one that's a powder, and we did that because you can really improve the taste. The capsule ones taste pretty nasty. I don't know if you've tried them, but they're gross. So we did a powder. It's kind of like those little Crystal Light. I don't have any closer I'd show you, but you just tear it and pour it into a bottle of water or glass. And it does it through a magnesium reaction. And so you're oxidizing the magnesium with a citric acid or some other acid in there. And then as that magnesium breaks down, it releases the hydrogen from the water. And I have, I'll show you real quick. It's kind of big, but this is like elemental magnesium that I
Cool.
just keep here. So it crystallizes as it forms, but you need magnesium anyway. And so the thing is it's not as a pure of a delivery mechanism. So we look at it as more of a stopgap instead of like what you should do daily. But it's also a good way to test it. If you want to get into hydrogen water and you're not sure that a $300 bottle is worth the investment, then you can spend $60, get a supplement, try it out, see if it's going to work for you, if it's something you like. There's some mixed research on your body's ability to absorb the hydrogen that comes from that reaction. It doesn't seem as if it's as high quality and as easy for your body to absorb, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
And it's great for, like, if you don't want to take your bottle with you, you're going somewhere like that. It's a good stopgap. It's a good filler. So
Awesome. And I have a lot of clients who have the Echo H2O Plus. Is it worth the upgrade to the flask?
The flask has some really cool features. It's producing, one of the most common complaints we got was that the bottle's too small, because this one's around 8 ounces. It's really difficult to generate hydrogen, and the membrane is the most expensive part. It's really a high technology. And in order to saturate the water, you have to build pressure in the water from the hydrogen that's coming out. So most of the bottles are very small, like this, because once you get beyond this, it becomes increasingly difficult to build up enough hydrogen. So the membrane inside the flask is 5 times bigger than the membrane in any of the other bottles. So we're able to do, I can kind of show you too, but we can generate hydrogen. Let's see if I can get it in focus so you can see bubbles. Is that working? Hard to see. Oh, this one's totally full too. And then when I release this, you might be able to hear it purge if I put it by I don't know if you could hear that. No, I don't know if you can see the bubbles on the camera, but there's a bunch of bubbles coming up there. I'm blue and it's blue, so that's not super helpful, but I don't know. Getting it to
You can
focus.
slightly see it. Yeah. They're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Anyway, but it produces a significant amount more hydrogen. So we're able to, because of the pressures we're able to achieve, this new bottle holds 90 pounds of pressure. And so we're able to do hydrogen water up to 8 parts per million, where this old one would do about 4. And so you're getting 50% more water, and it's got twice the hydrogen in it. The other thing that's really cool about it is it's got the touchscreen interface, and it's a smart bottle. So it connects with our Echo app, and you can track your hydrogen usage across time, both the milligrams of hydrogen you've ingested, the amount of water you've ingested, and it syncs up with your Apple Health Kit and other apps that you might be using to track how much water you've had. And that's always done manually. So I don't know if you track your stats like I do, but I always forget to put my water in, because you have to go in and do it on your watch or your app, and then like, oh, what did I do today?
I know.
So because it can track that intake, that's actually really, really helpful for people. And then they can track how much I've had over time. Am I sticking? So we always say we have a 360 guarantee. So 3 bottles a day for 60 days. And if you don't see improvement, you get your money back. It's hard for people to remember if they're doing that. And we don't police it. It's an on your honor kind of thing, right? Just, we want people to try it. But with the ability to track, you'll know for sure, am I really drinking enough hydrogen to get the benefit? Or am I missing days? Am I doing 1 this day and 2 the next? And so it's really, really helpful to help you achieve your goals that way. So
No kidding. I've noticed that myself. What I sometimes do is I get 2 big jugs. Sorry, I'll go through another question first, and then we'll get to this. Do we want to have filtered water, like reverse osmosis water, that we put into hydrogen? Because from my understanding, it becomes more absorbed. So if it's tap water, you're going to absorb that more quickly. If it's hydrogenized into your skin.
Absorb it more quickly. Why would you absorb it more quickly?
Like that, for example, the contaminants that would be in tap water, if you were to put that into a hydrogen water bottle, that would be absorbed into your organs, like the stuff that you wouldn't want in there. So you always want it to be like good, clean, filtered water to put into hydrogen.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't been asked the question in that way before. So I don't know if that's exactly true. But the biggest problem with using tap water in the bottle is you get a buildup of calcium and other things on the electrodes, and you have to clean the bottle more frequently. It's not going to break the bottle. It just increases the amount of maintenance you have to do. So then you'll have to put vinegar or citric acid in there to get the junk off of the electrodes. So it produces hydrogen at the same levels it once did when it was new. So you want to make sure the water going in is very clean for that purpose on the bottle maintenance. Now, I'm a huge believer in making sure that the water in your home, and especially the water you drink, is clean. We sell some really great filter systems for the home, and any of the in-kitchen machines that we sell have really great filters. RO through some other ones that are really, really awesome. And so there's just so much in the water. like the government's job is to make sure the water's clean enough that it doesn't make you sick, right? So they add chlorine, they do all this stuff so you're not getting a bacteria or a virus from the water. But they don't care about the long-term sick. They care about the short-term sick. So PFAS in the water, heavy metals, the chlorine itself, all those kinds of things will hurt you in the long term, but keep you safe in the short term. And so what we preach is like, make sure that the water coming into your home is as clean as you can get it. And then RO water for everything you drink. Like you mentioned a Brita before, and that's better than nothing at all, but barely. Right?
Yeah.
RO is as clean as you can get. And then we have a whole home filter system, and they can get pretty pricey depending on how much you want to filter out. And this is something most people don't talk about, but I get really concerned about not just the water going on your skin and absorbing chlorine through your skin and those kinds of things. The thing that concerns me more is what you're vaporizing in your steam and inhaling. So, it's going into your food and you're ingesting it when you make a soup or you're doing whatever, you're drinking it. And if you get an RO system in your kitchen, you can control that. But for the rest of the home, you're taking a hot shower and now you're breathing in who knows what, right? And you've seen these scary reports of the stuff that stays in the water, all of the pesticides and PFAS and all of those things that just seem to exist forever. And they're getting put up into that steam and you're breathing it in. So if you can get that stuff out of your water supply, then will it hurt you? It's hurt some people. We don't know if it'll specifically hurt you or how your body will react, but it's better safe than sorry. So
and having the hydrogen water, will it help you detox from some of these things that are stuck inside of your body already?
It really helps your gut health and it helps your general health. And so a specific detox claim, I'm careful about those because what does that mean, right? People like to throw that around of detoxing and getting rid of metals.
It's a big fad.
And it doesn't, it means so many things to so many people. What I will say is the hydrogen water resets your cells to homeostasis. And so it's as your body starts performing like it should and you get that reset to where they should be, your body knows how to heal. It knows how to clean itself up. It knows how to solve these problems. So if you give it what it needs, it can figure it out. And if there's something in there that's nasty for you, that's hurting you, your body is designed to purge that stuff out. And like I said, some people do have a detox when they start hydrogen water. Not everyone has that. And for the people that go through that, it's stomach discomfort and diarrhea or whatever for a few days, but they're like so much better on the other side. So there was something happening, right? But like a specific detox, there's some people making wild claims about detox products. And
I know. And there's a lot of gurus you see it everywhere over the internet because it's not so regulated. But
and it's trendy and people worry about what's in their body. So I get all of that. And we've ingested a lot of crazy stuff that was in our food and in our water, and we just weren't aware of it. And so we took it in, and I know people are worried about that. And I would say if you focus on your core health, your body knows how to solve those things. So
give it the right inputs. Some people are having could somebody have the hydrogen flask like between 7 and 10 of them a day? Or is there such thing as too much hydrogen?
Overdose. No, the FDA has even ruled on this that it's a safe product and there's no concern of overdose. The only concern you'd have of overdose is you can overdose on water. People do have water poisoning, so you can drink too much water. But hydrogen is naturally produced by the body and also knows how to deal with it if it gets too much. And you'd just burp it out or fart it out or breathe it out. You wouldn't know. Your body would just get rid of it if it can't absorb it. So, but some people, there hasn't been a lot of studies on this. I'll tell you on the arthritis study, there was originally not any benefit from hydrogen water when people were looking at arthritis. But they were doing those tests at a 0.5 part per million, which is pretty standard for a lot of studies. And it was kind of restricted based on the technology they had to generate the hydrogen in the water. So they do it at 0.5 part per million or up to 1.5 parts per million. But once they started studying it at higher concentrations, then it started showing benefits for different things. The arthritis studies don't show benefits until 3.5 parts per million, for example. And so like a high concentration of hydrogen and high doses, no one has studied this to say what benefit could your body get if you had however many milligrams of hydrogen per day that is. I could do the math, but I can't do it in my head. But no one's really studied that, no one that I'm aware of, other than to study to say if you've overdosed. So I'd be curious if people are doing 10 bottles a day and reporting different things. I know some people are, like Tom Brady, for example, drinks a ton, right? And you've seen those pictures of him with his giant bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he also is going through, he drinks 2 gallons of water a day. He's going through a huge amount of water and sweat. I don't really even work out, right? So, other than walking and things like that. So, my demand for that is not like his is. And so,
Sure. Well, I was going to say, I'll let you know how, because I'm usually having about 7 to 10 a day. So I'll let you know because I'm always pushing that button. I have the Echo H2O Plus, but no, it's amazing. The other thing I just wanted to know is time of day to have hydrogen water. Is there a better time or just throughout the day as much as you can?
so it kind of depends on what you're doing. There are better times and worse times. Some of it is you, and some of it is your activities. And so we've heard from people that get a real big energy boost from the hydrogen. So if they drink it right before they go to bed, they have trouble falling asleep. But we have other users who report the opposite. They say they'll drink a full bottle right before they go to bed and they get the best sleep of their life. And so some of that I would experiment with and find out for yourself. It's like, if I drink right before bed, am I wired and up all night, or am I like deep sleep? Then if you're working out, there are schedules. So I would say everyone should do a bottle right when they wake up. You've been exhaling all night. It's been a huge amount of time, hopefully 8 hours, some more, some less. If you're my teenage daughter, it's been 12 hours since you've had a drink. I usually sleep like 6.5, 7 hours a night, but you've been exhaling a lot. You're very dehydrated when you wake up. I'd say have a bottle first thing in the morning. Keep it on your bedside, maybe run it the night before even, and have it ready to go. And then if you work out, there's some great research on hydrogen as a pre-workout and as post-workout recovery. So if you're going to do a normal workout, like an hour-long workout, if you drink it a half hour before, you'll have the benefit right when you get to the gym, and then drink it within a half hour after for recovery. If you're doing a longer workout than that, then you're going to want to drink some in between as well. So because you're going to kind of burn through the benefit within an hour time frame roughly. So like if you're going to do a 2-hour workout, you'd want to have some, every half hour or something. So use some interval. So,
And I think the benefits speak for themselves. But if anyone wants to see, I think the website is called hydrogenwaterstudies.com, and there's over like 2,000 studies of hydrogen water, of the benefits.
It's hydrogen-studies.com.
Hydrogen studies.
So
Okay.
it feels shorter. Yep.
Yeah, we'll put that in the URL. Amazing, Josh. Any last words of wisdom before we close things off today?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of wisdom you want. It's been great for me. I recommend it to everyone. I mean, not everyone has, it's just like anything. Not everyone has a need. Everyone has a need for water, so it's not going to hurt you by drinking enough water every day. It's only going to help you. But I recommend everybody at least try it and see if it's something your body needs. Because if it does need it, could be a game changer, right? Being hydrogen deficient has real consequences. And it's such an easy foundational thing to do. And it's so simple because it's just water. You need water anyway. You're supposed to be doing it anyway. Why not make it a little bit better? So.
Yeah. Great words of wisdom. I've seen so many people take so many supplements when they start on hydrogen water. It's like 3 to 5 to 10 times how they feel like in just a short period of time. So I can't speak enough about how good it is. So thank you so much today, Josh. Where can people go to visit? What website to check all this stuff out?
Like you mentioned, if they want to look at the research, we have a website called Hydrogen Studies where we aggregate all the research. The number on the homepage is outdated, but there's over 1,500 studies on there now. And you can search any condition you have, any symptoms you have, and go through studies based on body part, subject, any kind of category like that, and see if there's a study that supports what you're suffering with. And then if you're looking to purchase, our website is echowater.com.
Great.
There's a lot of information there too, customer testimonials and that sort of thing.
We'll put all that down in the show notes below. And if anybody would like to get 10% off, they can go to getsuperhuman.io/water. All right, guys, thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. I hope you got a lot of value from today's episode, as I sure did. If you're ready to take your health and performance to the next level, you can grab our free Superhuman guide at getsuperhuman.io. Hit subscribe, share with anyone who needs it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay superhuman.